Hi guys, Jonathan from Warp Design here again. Something a bit different in this week's video, a bit of an explainer. One of our clients recently asked us what exactly are SSL certificates, why does my website need one, and how does it actually protect my website? And this is a really good question because there's a lot of computer science, cryptography, and algorithms and complex mathematics that goes into making SSL certificates work, and explaining them to someone, myself included, who doesn't necessarily have that level of computer science knowledge can be quite tricky. I recently came across an analogy which I'm going to show you in a moment, which makes it a lot easier to understand, and I've jazzed that analogy up using cats. So the way SSL certificates work and how they protect your website is they use a form of what's known as public key cryptography. Without having some kind of deep understanding of mathematics and algorithms and computer science, it's a struggle for a lot of people to really grasp how exactly that works to protect your website. Essentially, it encrypts the message that runs from your computer or the website where you are working. So for example, if you're filling out a form, that's going to send a message to the server to process the data that you've input, and you want that message to be encrypted so that someone can't intercept the information that you're sending between yourself and a remote server somewhere. And SSL certificates enable that encryption to take place using pairs of keys. One is private and one is public, and those keys have to match in order for the communication to successfully be secured. So I heard an analogy which I'm going to show you here, which I cannot take any credit for this. This came from a radio show and podcast that you might be familiar with called The Infinite Monkey Cage. If you don't know that show, it's brilliant. I'll put a link in the description below. But they used an analogy similar to what I'm going to show you now to explain how exactly public key cryptography can protect the information that you send between yourself and a website or a server, and I'm going to demo that to you now with the help of cats, just to make it a bit more interesting. People like cats, eh? So here's me, obviously, you can see me, and I have a pet cat, and rather conveniently my cat is called Mr. Server. So in this scenario I represent me on a website trying to use that website to send some kind of communication to the server. So in this scenario, it's Mr. Server's birthday and I want to send a message. I've decided I'm going to send an envelope stuffed full of American cash to Mr. Server as a happy birthday present. Now, when I'm sending this message to Mr. Server, what we're trying to avoid is what's known as a man-in-the-middle attack, which is essentially where someone who's not supposed to be able to can intercept your message, read its contents, and generally do malicious things. Obviously, if your message is encrypted, the idea being that even if they can intercept it, they can't read it. They can't understand what's being sent because it's encrypted. Now, in our scenario, we're going to represent the man-in-the-middle attack with this naughty cat. We don't like him. He wants to intercept the birthday present I'm sending to Mr. Server and take all the cash out of the envelope. Now, we don't want that to happen. We need to protect the message that we're sending somehow. Now, what we could do is we could put the message in a box. So we could put the money in a box. We can shut that box. And then when we send it, it's ever so slightly more secure. But Naughty Cat could just open the box and take out the money. It's not particularly well protected. So this is where SSL certificates and public key cryptography come in. So we're going to represent the encryption using a series of locks. So we've got some padlocks here. If I put a padlock on this box, it's a lot more secure now. Naughty Cat hasn't got the key. So as the message goes by, even if he grabs it and intercepts it, it can get all the way to Mr. Server without being open because Naughty Cat doesn't have the key. However, obviously Mr. Server here can't open it either because it's got our padlock on it using our key. We don't want to be sending the key to Mr. Server because that wouldn't be secure. If the key was intercepted, then someone has everything they need to be able to unlock our message. So where the pair comes in, the pair as in cryptography, public pair cryptography, is that we're going to lock it again, which represents another layer of encryption. So Mr. Server is going to put his lock on it as well. So now the box is double locked. It's come all the way from me to the server with a lock on it, so no one can open it. It's now going to have another lock on it, and it's going to be sent back. If I can operate my computer, it's going to be sent back to me with both locks on. Now, I've got the key to my lock, so I'm going to take that off. The box is still secure, it's got a lock on it. I can't open it anymore because it's got Mr. Server's lock on it, which needs Mr. Server's key. So it's gone both ways with a lock on it. It's never been unsecure. Naughty Cat can't open that box. I'm going to send it back. Naughty Cat still can't open that box because it's got a lock on it. Let's send it back to Mr. Server. Mr. Server receives the message, and now he can take this lock off because he's got the key to his lock, and now the box is openable. Ta-da. We'll open it that way, shall we? And Mr. Server can get his birthday money. He's over the moon. He's really grateful for his present, and it hasn't been able to be intercepted by Naughty Cat because at no point during that message back and forth has it been sent with the box unlocked. It's been locked at every point, and no one who shouldn't be able to has been able to take one of those padlocks off. And that essentially is what SSL certificates and HTTPS protocol connections between your websites, between your computer and remote servers, that is essentially how that works. It's using layers of encryption to ensure that at no point is that message readable by a third party. So I hope you found that information useful. If you've got any doubts whatsoever about whether or not your website is correctly secured, please do give us a shout and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. Otherwise, click subscribe to make sure you don't miss any other videos like this, and we'll see you next time.